Hi, everyone. Well, my guest today from home, from self-isolation, is my dear friend, brother, executive director, EbonyLife, Nigeria's most respected life coach, Mr. Lanre Olusola. So, Coach, you are welcome to,
Yes.
to this show of mine. I'm not even sure what to call it. Is it Moments with Mo? Is it just a chat with Mo? Is it Mo from self-isolation? The most important thing is to be having the conversation.
Yes, it is.
I'm really, really excited about what we're going to be talking about today because it affects all of us, Coach, in that we are all experiencing so many different emotions at this time. Maybe we can also use this as an opportunity for you to give me some life coaching right now because I'm going through so many emotions. I'm anxious, I'm afraid, I'm bored, I'm eating too much. The unexpected is dawning on me every morning when I wake up. I don't know what, it's just a whole gamut of emotions that I'm going through. And I'm saying to myself, I know I'm not the only one that is experiencing all of these emotions that I'm experiencing. Fear, all of these things are there. All these emotions are there. And I have to say why. The one that really is of major concern to me a lot is the amount of food that I'm managing to eat. As in, like, I am eating so much. I'm trying to exercise at the same time, but I just find that I'm just eating way more than I normally do. And it's comfort food. I'm looking for those foods that give me comfort. I mean, I don't normally eat bread. I'm eating loads of bread and, all kinds of things, rice and, things I should not be eating. But outside of that, I really want us today to just talk about how we can help anyone that's out there that's feeling these emotions of fear, of anxiety, of boredom, of just not knowing what is next, of anxiety. Some people are suffering through depression at this time because they are self-isolating by themselves wherever they happen to be. So they're lonely. Coach, what do we do?
All right. I think it's the first thing is for us to know what the source is. Why are we anxious? Why are you eating? Why are you overeating? Why are you experiencing some of those symptoms that you're talking about? And it's simply because of what is going on around us, our environment, and we're taking information in, we're processing the information, and what is the information? We're only hearing about death. We're only hearing about desolation. We're only hearing about viruses. We're only hearing about people that are dying all around. So you turn to CNN, you turn to Sky, even on your WhatsApp. And so a lot of people are overwhelmed. Yes, even your messages. And a lot of people are overwhelmed at this time. And it's simply because of the information they're taking in. Now, your psychology influences your biology. That is, so you are feeling depleted in terms of energy. Emotionally, you are drained. That's why you are seeking for bread. You are looking for foods that will give you energy. So you would find out that it's either you're taking fizzy drinks, it's either you are eating carbs, or you're taking sweet things, a lot of it. It is because your body is demanding for energy, because your body is being drained of energy. Now, the instructive thing is that our cells and our organs, they are eavesdropping on the conversations that are happening around us. So you are a macro version of your cells. Your cells are a micro version of you. So what is going on with you within your environment and with you, externally, is also being replicated within you. And that's why we need to be very careful, because COVID-19 will come and go. But the long-term damage that we're going to be doing to ourselves is what I feel that people need to be cognizant of. Okay. So yesterday, a few days ago, somebody called me and says that my sister is a health worker in America. She's a nurse. And for the last couple of days, they asked her to come for duty. And then she went on duty for a couple of days. Now, she was hale, hearty, and fine. And, they covered all the ends, protection, gear, and all of that. And then she came home a few days ago, and she started to feel very funny. Now, and so they called me and said to me, you know, my sister is feeling funny. She's feeling some symptoms, but I couldn't take that call. They sent me a WhatsApp message. I couldn't take the call. So they set out to go to the hospital. Now, this had happened overnight. She couldn't sleep. She was suffering from some symptoms. And so by the following morning, by when I got back to them, her sister was on the way to the hospital. And so she called, and I was able to speak to her. And I said to her, tell me what happened to me. And I said to her, your sister does not have COVID-19. She says, what do I mean? I said, she's displaying the symptoms of anxiety because she went into an environment, came back out, and then I started to read out to her the symptoms of anxiety. Number one, did she say she had a lump in her throat? She said yes. Was her heart palpitating? She said yes. Did she feel nauseated? She said yes. Did she have strong headaches and migraines? She said yes. Did she have cold chills? She said yes. Was she chronically fatigued? Did she have tingling in her body and sensations in her muscles? They said yes. Did she have difficulty breathing? She said yes. Did she feel bloated and she didn't feel like eating? She said yes. Did she have difficulty sleeping? She said yes. I said that's anxiety. When she comes back, right, they're going to tell her that she was negative. And yours truly, when she came back, she said she was negative.
Okay. So what you're saying, Coach, is that you're saying that our bodies are displaying these symptoms because we're anxious. So we need to be careful about not mixing up the symptoms of having COVID-19 versus the symptoms of, because it looks as if they're the same symptoms, right? Anxiety and COVID-19, you are displaying, our bodies will display the same symptoms.
Yes, so for now, we need to be careful.
So how do we stop ourselves from being anxious?
Okay, so there are critical things that we need to do. You first of all need to change your thoughts about COVID-19, about your situation. So in her case, right, because before she was on duty, she was self-isolated. And then they had to call her because, she's an essential worker. She had to go into that environment for a couple of days. And then her thoughts about COVID-19 changed because she saw people that were in critical conditions. And so she was thinking COVID-19. She was thinking, what if I catch it? So the first thing is your thoughts about COVID-19 need to change. The second thing is your perception about COVID-19 also needs to change. Now, the real perception about COVID-19 is what is not being shared with us. Right, as we speak, yesterday there was about 2 million tested cases and only 135 deaths. That's globally. In Nigeria, 407 cases, 128 have been discharged, only 12 deaths. Now, the fact of the matter is that 90 to 95% of people that recover, it's their immune system that helps them recover. It's not even the meds. The people that recover, very few of them are the ones that use the ventilators and all of that. So your body has the ability to help you recover. And that's the perception that you need to have. And that's also what you need to believe.
So what you're saying is that
you need to believe that your immune system has the ability,
So what you're saying, Coach, is that we need to be aware of all the facts in terms of the numbers.
Yes. And the fact that your body has the power to heal you and to help you. But there are certain things that you need to do.
More people are healing than people not healing.
Yes. So 90%, 95% of people are healing.
Right.
And it's important that we know what the statistics is, and why can't we be one of the people that are healing? Now, when we talk about beliefs, perceptions, and thoughts.
But how do we, the thing is, we're a product of our environment, and it's only the news that I listen to that is going to tell me what the numbers are. And I don't think what is not spoken about often enough are the recovery numbers. What is, as you've said, what is spoken about a lot of the time are the numbers of people that are dying or the number of cases. So how do we get this information? Because, we can only be privy to the information that is available on television, on the various news channels that we have. So,
all right. So what you need to do really is
that's not for you. I guess it's not.
Oh, okay.
it's not for you to resolve that problem. But the challenge is that we are still a product of that information, though, Coach, because the information being shared is deaths and not recovery. So how do we get out of that psyche of focusing on those numbers? Because that's the numbers that are being shared with us.
Yes, those are not the only numbers that are being shared, but those are the numbers that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So I also shared with you the number of people dying, but I didn't focus on the number of people dying. I focused on the number of people that have recovered.
Right.
I focused on how they recovered. Okay. Right. So the information is out there. What we look for is what we find. Focus creates blindness. So people are focusing on the negativity and the negative news because that's what, the new definition of news is the first person to put it out and the most devastating breaking news.
Yeah.
Breaking news. If we said that, they caught, that they stopped suicide bombing, you'll be wondering, what's the news in that? But if they say a suicide bomber blew up, a hotel in New York, everybody will be scrambling for that news. Say, we caught a suicide bomber before his bomb was detonated.
Yes.
That's no news. But, it is great news because you saved many lives. And so we need to change our mindset from what our definition of news is and what we're going to seek for. And so, switch off your TV, switch off those news, go on the internet when you want to find out what is going on. Just Google the information you want.
Number of
survivors. And that's the information. Yes, that's the information.
I even had the opportunity to interview Olusola last week, who is a COVID survivor. And for me, it was wonderful to do that because it's about giving people hope. And, I think what we need to be able to do at this point in time is we need to go out there and, as you've said, purposefully look for hope messaging and hope news. Yeah. The other day I subscribed to a new Instagram page that was about, it was good news. It was called the Good News something. And all they share on that platform is good news. And we need to make an effort ourselves to start looking for more good news and sharing good news. Because I have to say to you that most of the messages I get on this phone from friends, and it's always about somebody that just died or something that's, and I'm like, okay, fine, thank you for sharing it, but it's not gonna make me feel any better. So I guess we need to be careful about what we're also sharing with other people, our families and our friends as well.
I say to people, you have to insulate yourself. And the benefit of insulating yourself is to build your emotional immunity. Okay. Because your emotional immunity influences your physical immunity. And the powerful thing about your immunity is that your body excuse me, your body identifies viruses, bacteria, parasites, neutralizes them. You've got systems within you help protect you. Your spleen and your bone marrow, they all produce white blood cells. They all produce, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-disease, protection cells for you. And so the second thing you want to do is make sure that you have a healthy dose of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins in your system.
So can you name those again? I'm writing them down. Dopamine, yeah,
oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. I call it boost your dose of dose. On a daily basis, you must boost your dose of dose because it helps you build emotional resilience, emotional immunity that translates into physical immunity. So now,
where do we find these things from, Coach? Where do we find this dopamine and serotonin? Where do we get all of these doses from?
All right. So, for example, if you see the liquid, the water inside this glass, right? This is almost like 2 vials of dopamine. These 2 vials of dopamine will probably cost about $3,000 to buy. It's very expensive. A vial of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, they are very expensive to buy, which means that, your body also has the means of producing it. But if you do not do the things that you're supposed to do, right, you will not produce the right quantity. So there are critical things that you need to do to boost your dopamine. Number one is you eat foods that are rich in tyrosine. It must be in your diet every week. Number 1 is almonds. Number 2 is bananas. Number 3 is avocados. Number 4 is eggs. Number 5 is beans. Number 6 is fish. Number 7 is chicken.
Okay.
The second thing you need to do is exercise a minimum of 3 times a week, and at a minimum of about 20 to 25 minutes per time.
Okay.
The third thing is you have to practice meditation. Meditation is medicine.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth thing is you need to take regular massages. But now that we're doing, physical isolation, get someone in your home to massage you and, pay back the favor.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is you have to sleep. You have to sleep enough. Now that we're isolated, you must have a minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
You must have a minimum of 5 hours sleep, good sleep.
Okay.
The next thing is you must listen to good soul music.
Good music. Okay.
Good soul music. Good soul music, because you need to feed your soul with inspirational and motivational music.
Mm-hmm.
And then because the foods that we cook, right, we lose a lot of the nutrients. You need food supplements.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to take vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B, vitamin B complex. Okay. And then in this time, you have to be generous. You have to show empathy. You have to help people that are in need, because it helps you boost your oxytocin level. You have to be content with your life. Now, stop comparing yourself with other people, because you see, even as we speak now, COVID-19 is a leveler.
Mm.
Your Birkin bags, you cannot carry it. Your Loeb shoes, you cannot wear them. Your Gucci loafers, you cannot wear them.
You're not going to get your oxytocin from that.
No, your private jet, you can't fly them. Your luxury cars, you can't drive them. So you have to be content with your life. Yes. Because contentment helps you boost your oxytocin level. Then if you want to boost your serotonin level, reduce your sugar intake and your honey intake on a daily basis. Take daily doses of vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin B complex. Eat healthy. Mm-hmm. And eat foods that are high in protein.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to boost your endorphin levels, eat dark chocolate or a glass of red wine. Red wine equates a bar of dark chocolate. Okay. They both have the same component. So if you say that you're born again, you're a religious person, you can't drink wine, then take dark chocolates. Yoga is another very powerful exercise. And then comedy. You've got to watch a lot of comedy so that you can laugh, smile a lot, and then eat spicy foods. It is very, very important. Eat spicy foods. And then take some time out to dance and sweat. That is, listen to party music, dance, and then sweat. Okay. Then before you sleep at night, essential oils like lavender, mint, drop one drop on your pillow so that you can have some good, great sleep.
Okay, fantastic. Coach, that was sort of like a package of goodness that you've just shared with us. And I really hope that everybody's going to tune in, watch this, and really be practicing all of those things. So basically, it's about eating the right foods. It's about feeling empathy towards our fellow human beings. It's about finding things that are going to make us laugh. It's about getting exercise. It's about having a glass of wine or some dark chocolate. And if we do all of this, we're building, what you're saying is we're building our emotional immunity by doing all of these things that you have just listed. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of them I'm not doing, but I'm going to make sure that I watch more comedy and that I dance a bit more, even though I'm at home, with my son and my grandson and everybody. I'm just going to make sure that, yes, some dancing. Let's get some dancing going. Fantastic. So
make sure you sweat from the dancing.
Yes, I'm actually spinning. I actually got myself a spinning bike. So
fantastic.
I have an app that I downloaded with different spinning programs. So I'm doing that and I'm sweating it out. So I'm doing that because I won't be able to get through this door with all the food I'm eating. But that's but once we build emotional immunity, right?
Yeah.
How do we deal with things like boredom? I mean, because, a board, that's why we recently launched a program called the COVID Innovative Challenge, just to get all of us thinking about what are we going to need post-COVID that's going to help us in our society. A lot of people are saying, I'm bored. How do we help people that are bored? What do we do?
I think the first thing is for us to help them change that mindset. What really is boredom? A lot of people, think that if they cannot go out, a lot of people think that if they cannot interact with other people, if they cannot socially connect with other people, then it's a problem. A lot of people need to change their mindset about the fact that you are not on lockdown. It's an opportunity for you to rest. So Mo, imagine that you had worked all year and you had set out time for holiday, 1 month on a cruise. Your mindset will be different.
Yeah.
But you are locked in on a boat, and you're going to be connecting with friends and family by social media. Our mindset with that is different from our mindset with this. And so we've got to see that it's an opportunity for us to spend time with ourselves, because people fail to spend time with themselves. Me time. This gives you serious me
for
time.
our families, right? And also to spend time with our families.
Yes, it gives you an opportunity to make amends with your spouse if you're married. And there are many marriages that are going through a difficult time as we speak now, right?
I've heard, Coach, that the divorce rate has gone up at this time.
Yes, I mean the rate of conflicts, yes.
Yes. So
the rate of conflict has gone up, irreconcilable differences has gone up, so it's time for us to sit down and ask ourselves really what is going on. The reason why divorce rate is going up is simply because before, if you get into conflict, you can leave home and go to work. And then by the time you come back, you have cooled down. You've interacted with other people, and then you can come home, eat your food, and go and sleep. Wake up in the morning before your spouse wakes up and you're gone. But here, you're both inmates.
Yes.
And so mindset change is very, very critical. Beyond mindset change is you've got to ask yourself, what does this season, what does it mean for me, and what do I want to take out of it? Yeah. So say to yourself, I have 2 weeks or I have 3 weeks, right? Set a goal. What is that your personal goal that you want to set? In 3 weeks, do you want to have an additional certificate? Do you want to have 2 certificates? Do you want to read 10 books? Do you want to work on your weight? You say, look, I have time now. I can dedicate 2 hours to work out.
Targets is right? What you're saying.
Yes, you need to have goals and targets. Yes, you need to be specific with what you want. And then you need to schedule and appoint each thing that you are doing. The thing that happens is a lot of people don't plan each day. I mean, I wake up every morning early, I take a bath, and then I go to the office. I get dressed, and I have a part in my house where is my office. Yeah. And I have 4 different locations depending on what I want to do. I have a place where I go and I do my thinking in terms of how do I solve problems that people have. I have another place that I go where I record and I beam out, for Instagram Live or webinars that I'm having for organizations or strategy sessions that I'm having for organizations. I have another location for that. Now, every day I meet with my entire team on Zoom. I have another location for that. And then I have another location where I connect with friends, and family, right? And I have another location for that. So I wake up in the morning, I have a bath, I get dressed, I carry my tools, my laptop, my iPad, my pen, my notepads in my bag, my internet, and I come downstairs. That's the office. I close every day, sometimes 9, 10 p.m. and I go back upstairs. When I go back upstairs, I watch some TV to unwind. I, bond with my family. We pray, we take Holy Communion every day, and then sometimes they leave me. I'm watching series on Netflix and, on, Apple TV, and then when I'm done, I go to the room and I sleep. So it's as if I wake up every morning and I'm going to work.
What you're saying is that we still need to make sure we have a plan. The fact that we're at home every day, make sure that you have a plan. Sorry, Coach, I said earlier that the divorce rate has gone up. The divorce rate has gone up, but the conflict within relationships has gone up. And from the feedback I'm getting, a lot more people are saying, when this is over, I want a divorce. So I just wanted to point, because no one's going to go to court and get a divorce in the middle of a lockdown. But just to say that there's a lot more conflict between married couples that, obviously, due to the fact that they're spending more time at home with each other, and it's a difficult time for all of us. And another thing, Coach, is that depression. A lot of people are suffering, one of the takeaways or one of the factors of this self-isolation for some people is they are suffering with depression. Now, I know that over the years, depression is something that you have treated, that you've helped people overcome. And depression is a clinical condition. It's not just a matter of, oh, I'm feeling sad today. What anyone watching this episode now that has been diagnosed as clinically depressed, or they are feeling some sense of depression or sadness, how can we, again, is it all down to building their emotional immunity, or how do they get out of that depression that they're feeling?
All right. So just the way that we were talking about the increased rates of conflict within the homes, just as we spoke about the increased rate of anxiety symptoms. People will display certain symptoms that are similar to symptoms of depression. Okay. But I'm gonna roll out the symptoms of depression so that we all understand what being clinically depressed is. Because a lot of people are sad, a lot of people are unhappy with their lives, a lot of people are unhappy with the situation, and they use the word depression. Depression is not that you are sad. It's not that you're unhappy. Depression, is not that you are in a mood from time to time or you're feeling the blues. Depression is not feeling down, low, upset, or sad. It's completely different from that. Depression is a very unhealthy feeling. It robs you of meaning in life. Depression inhibits your personal growth, your achievement, and your performance. Depression can lead to deep emotional pain, deep emotional turmoil, deep emotional despair, despondency, and hopelessness. And it even leads to suicidal thoughts and suicidal talks and suicidal behaviors. Now, here are the symptoms of depression. Number one, persistent and intense feelings of helplessness, persistent and intense feelings of sadness, emptiness, hopelessness, uncontrollable crying, anxiety, panic, fear, low self-esteem, lack of self-worth, lack of energy, sleeping disorders, eating disorders, unexplainable physical and emotional aches and pain, extreme withdrawal syndromes, loneliness, feelings of guilt, restlessness, irritation, anger issues, emotional instability, loss of interest in the things that you were usually passionate about, fixation on the past and things that have gone wrong or are going wrong, debilitating fatigue, weight issues, difficulty focusing and concentrating, compelling recurrent limiting beliefs and suicidal thoughts. And you must have at least 60% of these symptoms consistently for 3 to 4 weeks before we can say that you are depressed.
Okay, so in that case, then nobody is really suffering from depression right now, because the lockdown hasn't even been on for that long in most cases. So what people are feeling is a sense of sadness or unhappiness or anxiety, as you've said. Okay, and if that is the case, the way to deal with that is to build your emotional immunity by doing all of those things that you've said we need to do, by eating right, by watching comedy, by listening to music.
That's it. I'm
losing you. Hello, we're having a technical meltdown here. You are melting down, Coach.
Dose of dose.
Okay,
look, if you boost
I lost you for a second, Coach. So you're gonna have to repeat. You were gone for.
I'm here. Are you?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I'm back now. Good. All right. So did you ask a question or?
No, the last thing I spoke, I basically just just repeated what you said about the fact that it's not depression, it's feeling sad, it's feeling unhappy, it's feeling lonely, and these are the things that we need to do around making sure that we build our emotional immunity. And then you then responded, and then I lost that response due to the.
All right. Okay. So my response is beyond just boosting your dose of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. You have to focus on self-care.
Okay.
You have to focus on self-care, which means that, this is an opportunity for you to slow down. It's an opportunity for you to keep calm. it's an opportunity for you to learn how to be positive, because guess what? 30% of our thoughts are, general recurrent thoughts. What am I going to eat this evening? What's going on in the world? But 75% of the rest of our thoughts are negative, limiting, disempowering thoughts. And you've got to be able to track those thoughts, right? Because we process about 60,000 thoughts a day. So if we looked at most of our thoughts, out of those 60,000 thoughts a day, most of them are negative. So you need to be able to use this opportunity to track back on what thoughts you are thinking and where those thoughts are coming from, and how those thoughts are making you feel. Because your thoughts influence your beliefs. Your beliefs influence your emotions. Your emotions influence your decisions. Your decisions influence your actions. And so if you want to change your outcomes or the things that happen to you, you have to change your thought process.
And changing that thought process, Coach, it has to be something that one does intentionally, right? You have to.
Yes.
The thing is that they say misery loves company. And I say this time and time again, when someone is trying to make you sad or whatever, it's probably because they themselves are very sad. And that's where that's where that saying comes from, that misery loves company. If they're sad, they want you to be sad with them. So I think it's important that we surround ourselves with the people that make us feel happy. Because if not, as you said, where do the bad thoughts come from? They have to come from somewhere, right? So it's either giving them yourself, or somebody is inflicting those thoughts upon you. So it's for you
I think one of the things that you need to do, based on some of the therapies that we deploy, is you keep a thought journal. We call it capturing your thought logs. So every hour, a thought journal. You capture your thought logs. And so the very first thing that you want to do is stratify it every hour. If you wake up at 7 a.m., do 7 to 8, 8 to 9, and capture your thought logs for this season every day till you go to bed. And each hour, ask yourself, what mood am I in? So the first question is, what mood am I in now? The second question is, what emotion am I feeling? The third question is, what did I see? What did I hear? And what did I think that triggered that emotion?
Okay.
And then the next part of it is, what belief did that thought create?
And if it creates a negative belief, then you need to cross it off your list. Right?
So you have to replace it. So you now ask yourself, this thoughts that I'm thinking, what is the source? The source is either CNN. Because you are capturing every hour, you can think back and say, okay, what did I do at 8 a.m.? Oh, I was watching CNN. Okay, what were they showing on CNN? You will see that it was COVID-19, which and the beautiful thing about keeping a thought log for a period of time, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is you will see patterns. You will see patterns between information that is coming and the beliefs you have, and the thoughts that you're processing, the emotions, and then how it's affecting your mood. And you'll be able to see those patterns. What you have to do is you have to replace those thoughts with something else. For you to be able to replace those thoughts with something else, you have to focus on something else. And so if the source of the thought or the belief is someone that is hating on you, block them. And find somebody, because there can be no vacuum. Find somebody else that really, really wants your happiness. Someone that invests in positivity and is always positive around you. You know more that there's some people that when you're around them, they drain you of energy.
And there's some people that give you energy. And there's some people that just give you a sense of, there's some friends I have that as soon as I see them, I just start laughing, because they're even just looking at them, just gives me a good vibe. And there's some people
those are the people you want to be around.
I don't call them friends. There's some people as soon as you see them, you're like, oh, okay, let me move out of this environment. And I guess that feeds your emotions until the outcome becomes an outcome that you don't want.
The power of this is that people's aura right, reflect their thoughts about you and their emotions about you. And you can feel it. A lot of times we're insensitive to our feelings, right? We're insensitive to the aura and the environment around us, right? Because you can pick it up. If you're aware, if you have a heightened state of sense and awareness, you will pick it up. And what you need to know is those people, I call them energy vampires, emotional vampires. They drain you of positive energy.
Yeah.
If you work with them by 11 a.m., your energy is gone. If they're your friends and you hang with them, they burn you out. You want to block them out. They are not good for you.
Yeah.
Imagine if you are feeling that way, what they're doing to your organs, what they're doing to your cells. It's important you block them out. You don't need them. You only need the people that give you positive energy. You only need information that gives you positive energy. Block them out. If it is a series that you're watching, if it's music that you're listening to, if it's a conversation or an argument that you've gone into, identify the patterns and replace them with what we call the positive opposite.
Yes.
So you cannot leave a vacuum.
Something,
right?
Always be thinking something. So what is that thing you're thinking is important. I hear you.
Yes, you cannot not think. You've got to replace your thoughts, your relationships, your interactions, your engagement with that which you want. And so you've got to change your focus. And the next thing is you've got to focus on self-care. You know, now that you cannot go on suntan, wake up early in the morning, step out 6:30 to 7:30 in the morning, get some vitamin D, sun rays, you know, be deliberate about your mental, your physical, and your emotional well-being. Develop a deeper relationship and connection with yourself. With yourself. It is very, very important. Have good sleep. You know, the smartphone, your phone is a distraction. You know, get a book to read. Develop your cognitive skills. It is.
I mean, we touched on creativity. I'm going to let you go soon, Coach, because I know you and I can be talking for hours. We touched on creativity earlier. We've spoken about depression. We've spoken about anxiety. We've spoken about boredom. But I wanted to touch on creativity. Now, for those of us at home right now, this is a good time to get creative. And I really want to encourage people to find something that they can create or something good that will come out of COVID-19. How do we get, I don't know, is there any advice as a life coach that you can give us on how we get our creative juices flowing?
I think the very first thing we need to understand is that creativity is also one of the things that helps you boost your serotonin level.
Okay.
It's one of the things that will help you boost your serotonin level. And what is creativity? You know, creativity is your ability to release, your right brain to function. So, music, art, dancing, it's right brain matter. Okay. Left brain is about being analytical, being logical. So your right brain is things like drawing, things like arts, things like, using your hands to do certain things. People that plait hair, that do hair, that do makeup are creative people. And so go online. It is easy. You can get a PhD in creativity now. Just go to Google every day. Dedicate 1 hour every day and take a free masterclass on creativity. They would also give you activities to do. Do those activities. Look, the World Health Organization, the World, the WEF, World Economic Forum, they say that there are 10 critical things that you need to survive in the next 10 years. Okay. One of them is innovation and creativity. You will not be able to survive. You will not be able to compete against artificial intelligence in this next dispensation if you do not have creativity. It is one of the skills that they say that is required.
Because I think we leave this creativity and innovation sometimes to a group of people that we think are the only ones that have the key to creativity. But anybody can create anything. So it's really about, and as you know, I often say, if you can think it, you can do it. So even if it's the thought that one has, and you can't create it yourself, it's really going to be about finding the team of people that you can create it with. You know, I mean, I'm actually working on something that I'm creating that I woke up a few days ago and I said, yes, I'm really excited about this. And I got on the phone to a friend and I said, listen, let's create this thing. And we're working on it. I don't know how long it's going to take or if anything will become of it, but it just dawned on me. And I think what I also believe is that you need to have your antennas, you have to keep everything up and open, and from what you're reading, from, as you said, the music and everything else, to see what ideas coming to you. Now, the idea that I'm thinking about is not typically an idea that it's not a space I'm comfortable in, but it came and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try it, because here I am. Yes, I'm busy, I'm working, we've got lots of projects in development for film and television and all of that, but this is another idea that came. So it's really important. I want to say to everybody, let's task ourselves on finding that thing that we can say, okay, post-COVID-19, this idea came to me. So Coach, what you're saying is, in order to get that juice flowing, we need to make sure the right side of our brains are listening to music, and we're being creative, and we're reading, and we're go online, and there are all these online master class courses on creativity. That's what we need to do to get our juices flowing, yeah?
Very, very important. It's very, very key that we do that. And let's set creativity as a goal. And you know, measure your level of creativity now. And then at the end of COVID-19, measure your level of creativity. You know, they say that what doesn't get measured never gets done. So on a daily basis, you know, so let's assume that you're starting today. You know, do a creativity audit and a test. Test your creativity level in a week. Test your creativity level in 2 weeks. Test your creativity level in 2 weeks. It's very, very key.
There are things online that we can, there are things online, there are activities online that can test our creativity levels.
Okay. Yes, and can help you improve your creativity. Just Google, and Google. If you want to know what God is eating right now, Google it.
Right now. Yeah. Now, Coach, let's go. One last thing before I do let you go. COVID-19 is going to go away at some point. It's going to be gone from our lives. We don't know when, but it's going to be something of the past. Now, once we hear from the World Health Organization that the pandemic is over, it means we can go back to our normal lives. Now, no, I know, the new normal. Sorry, the new normal. Yes. So this new normal, what advice can you give as a life coach? What advice can you give to anyone listening today on how to deal with that new normal? Because we're still going to be suffering from a sense of, can I really trust? Can I really go out for dinner? Can I really go to the cinema? Can I really get on a plane? Can I really walk down the road? Do I have to wear a mask? You know, all these questions are going to be going through our minds. And as you said, again, it's all coming from within here. How do we deal with all of that?
All right, the first thing we need to do is to, first of all, we should not wait. You know, it reminds me of the story of the 10 virgins, 5 foolish, 5 wise. They were all virgins. They all had a promise. You know, they all had lamps. They had oil in their lamps. They all set out on their path. But there was a difference between the foolish ones and the wise ones. They were able to predict the future, and they had a contingency plan. So every strategy that we all sat down to create in December is useless, because the year is just about to start. Yeah. So this season, right, you need to sit down and re-strategize for your life and for your business or your career. And, you know, when you're doing that, right, you need to ask yourself, you know, what is the reality of today? Because if you're not facing reality, forget it, right? The reality now reveals to you, look at your own reality, look at it, break it down into 6 dimensions. Number 1 is, what is the reality of my environment? Do an environmental reality check. What is it in my environment that I need to change? What is it in my environment that I need to stop? What is it in my environment that I need to do less of? What is it in my environment that I need to do more of? Who do I need to eliminate and take away from my environment? What do I need to eliminate and take away from my environment? What is it in my environment needs to change? And, you know, so you need to do an environmental scanning and do an audit and ask yourself, the environment that I was in before, will it take me into the new normal? Will it help me become productive? Will it help me perform at my optimum or become more profitable in the future? If not, do the audit and eliminate. If there's something missing, ask yourself what it is and begin to practice and bring it into your system now. The second thing is your behavior, your habits. Ask yourself, right? Am I flexible? Am I dynamic in my thinking and in my behavior, right? What habits do I have now? What personality traits do I have now? Do you know that people that are extroverts are the ones that are having most challenges now? People that like to go out, people that like get their energy from feeding off energy from other people. They are the people that are having the most challenges now. Introverts that like to stay by themselves will be loving this COVID-19. And so it's an opportunity for you to develop yourself. If you are an extrovert, learn introversion because you know you're going to need both. Yeah, an introvert needs to be an extrovert also, because if you create all of those inventions, how will you sell it?
Yes.
How will you present it to people? So for both introverts and extroverts, you need to ask yourself, what behavior must I change for the new normal? The third thing is, what capabilities and abilities do I lack? What resources do I lack? But most importantly, what capabilities, what skills, what gifts do I have that I have not utilized, that I don't know that I have, that I have not maximized? Because your gifts and your talents and your competencies and your education and your experience are going to be gold. Ask yourself, is it going to be relevant post COVID-19? If it is not, this is the time to begin to retool and reskill yourself. The next level is to ask yourself, what values drive my life? And what ideologies, what is mindset, what beliefs rule my life? What programs am I running? Now you have to change your programs, you have to change your values. Look, if you are not flexible in changing your values now and your beliefs now, you're in trouble. One of the classic examples that I want to give, right, is that 70% of all employees are millennials. And millennials have a problem with us. And we have a problem with them. We think they are lazy. The way that they function is completely different from ours. They are not respectful, and all of that. But guess what? If we want to survive post-COVID-19, we need millennials.
Absolutely.
Which means that our mindset about them has to change. The way we relate, and they don't take nonsense. So if you stress them, they'll resign. They will resign tomorrow. Yes. In fact, they will not even tell you that they are not coming. Yeah, those guys, they're a different ballgame. But you know what? They were born into this digital age. Exactly. We were dinosaurs. Yes. So if we want, and the post-COVID-19 businesses that will succeed are digital, online businesses. Absolutely. Businesses that incorporate digital into it. Who are you going to use? Are you going to use a 50-year-old man, a 60-year-old man that is outdated, that doesn't understand? You have to now, as a leader, change your perception, your beliefs, and your values about the next generation. Absolutely. Look, if God wants, to execute a plan in the next 50 years, will he use someone that is 10 years old, someone that is 20 years old, or someone that is 60 years old? He's not going to be sharing his ideas with someone that is 60 years old. He's going to be sharing his ideas with someone that is 10. Because by the time you add 50 to their age, they are 60. They are the ones that have a higher probability to be alive. And so our relationships with the next generation and the generation after them, we have to change it.
Honestly, Coach, I cannot tell you how immeasurable, what you're saying is, because post-COVID is going to come, and we have to make sure that we are ready. As you've said, our behaviors, our values, our beliefs, technology, the millennials, our environment, these are things that we now, even as we are in the lockdown, stay home, #stay home, we have to start thinking about post-COVID. And it shouldn't be on the day that it's gone that we're like, oh, what do I do now? What you shared, honestly, these last points for me are absolute magic and of complete and utter value, even to me as a person. Even look at how I'm relating with you today. I did not think I was capable of doing a Zoom interview. I never thought in my life I would be able to press a button, because normally if I'm in Lagos, I've got my PAs everywhere.
Yeah, people around you,
everybody, Ada, you come, Elide, come here. Oh yeah, come and help me fix this thing right now. But you know what? I'm home here. Yes, my son is here. Koejo is here. They're like, Mom, you sort yourself out. So I'm kind of like, I've had to learn about how to do this. and I've learned, you know, and I'm so happy that I've learned a new skill in this COVID-19 that I mean, I sent you the link to this conversation. I had to learn how to send the link. I had to generate it myself. Then I had to know what to click so that we can be having this conversation. And
so you change your capacity and your ability to, you know, and you change your beliefs.
I feel free and empowered that I can sit here and have this conversation with you just like this. And the next, you know, I'm going to upload it to our YouTube page, and it's going to be there, and it's going to be like, it's just like, wow, it's incredible.
You know, Mo, another very important thing is I'm looking at you now, and you look very, you know, you look natural. It's almost like you have no makeup on.
Yes, Coach,
but if
there was no makeup artist, I had to just okay, I'm going to do this interview. Anytime I'm doing that, let me just grab some little bit of powder,
lipstick and powder,
some lip gloss. I mean, there was.
You know why, Mo? You know why? Because something has changed. And there are three more important things that I want to add to, you know, the environment, the behavioral change, and it's identity. Identity. If you do not change your perception about who you are and what matters, and what matters to you should be what matters, not what the world thinks of you. Because guess what? Now it doesn't matter what the world thinks. You don't even care about other people. Not that you don't care. You don't care whether anyone is wearing makeup, whether they're wearing fake hair or whatever it is, right? You know, everybody is being authentic. So post COVID-19, look, it is the authentic and original people that are going to succeed. Yeah. So your identity is very, very critical. Beyond identity is what I call your purpose. Your purpose, the solution you were born to be, the problem you were created to solve. Look, people are not going to be buying brands anymore. People are going to be buying solutions. People are going to be buying products that meet their needs. Look, it's not about brand now. What are people buying now? It's not about designers. All those luxuries.
The only thing I'm buying has been food.
Necessity. Necessity.
I have bought in this entire lockdown has been water, has been food to eat, has been I mean, soap, you know, clean the house. I mean, that is it. I have not bought
luxuries.
I have not bought one luxury clothing, shoe, nothing at all. So I don't know. We will still need these things post COVID. We'll need them.
Look, the emphasis that a lot of us used to place on it, and the way that it used to boost our confidence will no longer be the same. Because guess what, Mo? We've been at home for 3 weeks. We're going to be at home for another 2-3 weeks. Yeah. Now the implication of that is we would have formed a new habit. Because it's a new mindset. So we're reprogramming humanity.
For me, I am the kind of person that I would not go on TV without having I love my makeup artist, by the way. I love all you guys. It's not that I don't. But the reality is that I have had to do all of these interviews with doing the makeup myself, as in like, what can I do? Okay. And a little bit of powder, a little bit of gloss, blusher, and I'm gone. It takes me literally, it does not take me more than 10 minutes and I'm done. Because I don't know how to do the different layering and the contouring and all the different things that they do to make us look beautiful, which is great. This is me, guys. So, I mean, you know.
Let them accept you for who you are. We're all accepting ourselves for who we are. So post-COVID-19 is going to be a different ballgame. And then the last thing about, you know, what you need to do now is what value are you to the world?
To the world.
And who can you help?
Yes.
You must come back.
Yes. Value add.
You must come back, you know, you must come back with critical solutions and value that you're going to add. Who are you going to add the value to? Where are they and what value do you want to add to the world? Because guess what? There's a new normal. And the new normal, you know, luxury is going to suffer when we come back.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well,
look.
I don't know. I mean, luxury, it depends on what luxury is. I think, even the luxury brands themselves will have to redefine what luxury is.
That's it. Let me give you a classic. Harvard put out 90 plus courses for free. Harvard.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
You know, secondary schools in the UK are giving 50% discount.
There's a lot of free things going
70% discount. There's a lot of free. They are programming us to, it's going to be the
but
market,
don't you
not
think,
the seller's market. Just watch what will happen.
But coach, it's just I think all this free is going, because the world for once is coming together to solve a global problem and a global crisis about COVID-19. Once COVID-19 is gone, Coach, I think brands will start to charge again, because whatever is free,
it will not be the same. People are going to resist it because
I totally
6 weeks.
I believe there will be a new normal, but I still believe that there will be some economics around what the new normal would be.
Yeah, there will be. And that's why, you've got to center what you do around needs, around problems, and solutions. So, you can identify the need, you can identify the problem.
Yes.
When you solve it, you can package it well, that, at a premium. But if it's all vanity and a lot of those things, it will take a while, maybe 1 year, 18 months for you for your business to pick up again.
Need, problems, solutions. Coach, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for finding
Thank you very much.
Chat with me, and I really look forward to sharing this. And I know before we started the chat, you had said to me that you were going to give us 50 free life coaching sessions. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to let all my viewers know that that there's going to be 50 of these life coaching sessions that they can have with you. We'll put the information out on my page. And thank you once again. And
thank you very much.
I have learned a lot today, personally for me, and I'm sure that everybody out there that's going to be tuning in would also have lots to learn. Thank you. Much love to do.
Thank you. Take care. Love you too. Bye-bye. Bye.